The best laid plans of mice and men often go awry. That's from poetry by Robert Burns. Hi, my name is Mike, and I'm a library specialist at the Broward County Library System. Today I'm recommending a very short book. It's just over 100 pages long. It's not really even a book, it's a novella. I bet you've already read it once, maybe in junior high school, middle school. It might be time to read it again. It's called Of Mice and Men and was written by John Steinbeck in 1937. Reading this is like stepping back in time in a different world, a world of very hard times. Some of it's a bit rough. It's currently banned in some school criteria and school libraries here in Florida for allegedly condoning racial slurs, prejudice against the mentally ill, profanity, and generally containing vulgar and offensive language, as well as the perceived negative impact of all of these on students. Some of the bans and restrictions have been lifted here in the States, and it's even required reading in many American schools. And if it's not read in your child's middle or high school, maybe you should read it as a family and discuss it. A great eye-opening learning opportunity. It's a very simple story about two traveling ranch workers, George and Lenny, who moved from place to place in the 1930s California in search of new job opportunities during the Great Depression in the United States, trying to earn enough money to buy their own farm and ranch. Lenny, a large, lumbering, childlike migrant worker, has an intellectual disability and completely depends on George, his friend and traveling companion, for guidance and protection. George is a small, quick-witted man who travels with and cares for Lenny. Although he frequently speaks of how much better his life would be without constantly worrying about him, he's devoted to Lenny. This is a story about dreams and desires, those universal to all people. Every character yearns for a better life, independence, a homestead, security during old age, self-respect, acceptance. It's also a story full of loneliness. Crooks, the stable hand in the story, states this theme candidly. A guy goes nuts if he ain't got anybody. Don't make any difference who the guy is, long as he's with you. I tell you, a guy gets too lonely and he gets sick. The book was made into a movie 3 times. In 1939, starring Burgess Meredith and Lon Chaney Jr. In 1982, starring Randy Quaid, Robert Blake, and Ted Neely. And in 1992, starring Gary Sinise and John Malkovich. It's also been put on as a stage play on Broadway with James Earl Jones and by many other national theater groups. The author, John Steinbeck, was an American writer and the 1962 Nobel Prize in Literature winner for his realistic and imaginative writing. During his career, he authored 33 books. You may have read one or more of these already. Tortilla Flat, Cannery Row, East of Eden, The Red Pony, and Pulitzer Prize-winning The Grapes of Wrath. Most of Steinbeck's work is set in Central California. His stories frequently explored the themes of fate and injustice, especially as applied to downtrodden or everyman protagonists. This is a very short book, a quick read, but has great emotional impact. You can pick it up at your library as a book, an ebook, or an audiobook.